Hey loves, I'm back with another video. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share for support. So today I'm gonna be doing a quick wig install, showing y'all how to do it on yourself. I love red hair, but I don't like to wear it every day. So anytime I install red or any other bold color, I just install it really quick. So that's what I'm showing you guys. Plus layers with the curls. And I also included on how I colored this wig. So I used the watercolor method. Everybody probably familiar with that. I just filled up this old bucket with hot water, not all the way to the top, just like halfway, almost a little bit over half. And then I used 2 bottles of the Adore Wild Cherry, and I also put in a little bit of dark brown just to give it that burgundy look so it won't be too red. Also, ladies, before I did start coloring, I did spray Got To Be 2 layers of Got To Be spray onto the lace just to protect it. You do not want the color to stain the lace. Won't be no lace. I always do a test strand. You don't ever want to dip the whole wig in there and then it's not the color you wanted. So always test a strand either from the side where I'm gonna cut at or the back where you could easily just cut that strip out or blend it in with the rest of the hair. Make sure it's brushed out thoroughly just so that it'll get every single strand, no blotches. And with red hair, I definitely recommend using gloves because you will stain your hands. So most of the time with wigs, the frontal area doesn't get as dark as the bottom, especially if you dip in the bottom first. So sometimes I like to just go in and try to re-dye it, make it a little darker. Otherwise, it'll give that ombre effect, which is cute, but if you're not going for that, you can go ahead and just re-dip it. Add more dye though. So I use lace tint instead of the makeup method to tint my lace. For me, I'm using bronze from True Match and caramel from Tailored Crowns. And then I always use a blonde cap. I always use lace glue to keep it down because that is the best method. There's no alcohol, not on your edges, and it keep it super flat. I only use one layer and just pat it down a little bit just to make sure it's sticking. The best way to make sure that the lace tint match is to just keep on testing it out. Like spray a layer, dry it, put it to your head. If it still doesn't look right, just keep adding as many layers as until you feel it's right. Then we're gonna go in with our makeup. Pick your foundation or whatever is close to you. And then go ahead and add it to the hairline. I like to do it at least a little bit lighter just because our real scalp is not the same color as our skin. It's going to be a little lighter. So we want it to look as realistic as possible. Gotta have your alcohol and your skin protectant. I always clean my skin first, then apply the skin protectant. I use Bold Hold lace glue, so that's where I get the skin protectant from as well. Now it's time for the juicy part. Okay, so you want to place it where you want it to lay, and then that's how you get your foundation. Always start from the middle and go to the sideburn. And since this is a quick install, we only gonna be doing 2 layers. I usually do 3 or 4, but this is something quick and it's not supposed to last that long. Always use some type of popsicle stick or any stick that you have just to smooth out the glue. Using the tip only makes it a little messier. And remember to blow dry in between each layer until it's clear or almost clear. Now always test it out with my comb just to make sure it's tacky enough. Your comb should be getting stuck in the glue if it's ready. Now always blow dry on cool once it's laid down into the glue just to make it dry a little better. My camera just kept on going dead, y'all. Sorry. But so now that it's down, you want to cut the excess lace off that we don't need. We don't need nothing flapping around. It is so hard trying to cut some lace off on yourself. Take your time, ladies, and get all in the mirror. By the way, y'all, this is a refurbished wig. A wig that I brought back to life. And it still look good. Cut all that lace off. The lace is definitely laid, honey. Like, ooh, ooh, it's melted into the scalp. This is how you want it to look as you're doing it. So just make sure you perfecting that lace tint. If you have to add any other extra layers, make sure you adding the same amount for both lace tints if you do have to mix the lace tint. And I slowed down the second half for you guys so that y'all can get a better look and just see it at a slower version. Hey, when you know your hair finna be cute as fuck. You know you finna walk out looking like a bad bitch. Now, I normally do this if I feel like the lace tint didn't catch too much of one part of the lace. You just use something that's darker than you and put it on top. Very simple and an easy fix. You want to cut as much lace as you possibly can because you don't want to see the little pieces of lace lifting, or while you're doing your baby hairs, you can't even comb your baby hair into your lace because it's flipping up. So just make sure you cut as much as you can. I usually try to pinch the hair a little bit just to lift the lace up a little bit. Now, what is curls without layers? Like, somebody tell me, how is the curls gonna fall with no layers? So I always do layers. every single curl look you have ever seen me do on my page has to be layered. Otherwise, the hair won't move. Like that, Gorilla Snot girl. My hair, it don't move. Y'all get me though. So make sure y'all layer the hell out that hair. I did not go to school or anything for layers, so I just do very light layers, and I do what I've taught myself, learned from YouTube. It's not that hard. Just make sure you don't overcut, and you want to keep on brushing your hair, running your fingers through it so that once you go to straighten your hair, you won't notice those layers. But I will not be straightening this hair, so I did more layers than what I normally do. I like to do the got to be method after I separate the baby hairs because it just give it that look, that sleek look. Now it's time for the curly baby hair method. This is my favorite method. Literally, ever since I learned it, I haven't used nothing else. Um, So yeah, so y'all want to use a curling iron that's as skinny as this one or even skinnier. I prefer skinnier, but this is all we got to use for today. So this is what we're gonna use. Either one is fine though. So normally, I'll just wrap the hair around the curling iron, but on this video, like how I did just right here, but the first time I clamped it. I clamp it when the piece that I know I'm gonna cut shorter. and that first piece is going to get cut shorter than the rest. So you want to make sure it's super curly, not just a swoop, but curled just like this. If it does not look like this, then that means you might have done it wrong. And now we're going to cut them going from small to long. I don't try to cut them all the same size because the point is so that they look messy a little bit. So you don't want them to all be the same size. You want it to look, it's kind of hard to explain, but y'all know how real swoopy baby hairs be looking. I don't know who I'm talking to, what I'm laughing at. And of course, we're gonna use Got To Be gel. So when I use the gel, I don't put it on the whole baby hair. I literally just put it on the root, just on the root. And you wanna kind of rub it in a little bit, like, you know, twice, go over it, you know, just to make sure it's in there instead of just dabbing it on there. You wanna smooth it in. Then you wanna comb the baby hair, but after that first 1 or 2 combs, you want to hold the root, the part that you put the Got To Be on, and just brush those ends into the direction that you want them to go to. The fact that they already are curled makes it easier for you to just swoop it in the direction that you want it to go in. That's why you don't have to put Got To Be on the whole baby hair. And you don't want them to be so stuck down either. You want it to be looking like it's coming off of the head, because that's how real baby hairs look. So, and you want to be able to see the curl, all the details. So yeah. It's pretty simple though. The more you do it, the better it get. As you can see, I could still comb the hairs wherever I want them to be because they're not stuck. They're flowy. So y'all see what I mean? I slowed that part down so y'all can, you know, see it better. Get the hang of it a little bit. My camera kind of shut off or whatever. Don't act like that didn't happen. Now we're gonna go to the other side. I like for middle parts, when I do the baby hairs, I like for them to kind of start at the same angle. Otherwise, it make your middle part look cockeyed or lopsided, like it's doing a Millie Rock or something. So you want it to start at the same pace. Same amount of baby hairs, all of that. The lace is laid, honey. I got these curling irons from Amazon, by the way. So y'all, I'm just doing loose curls, nothing fancy. I always pin them, and I'm using a 1.5 inch barrel. Make sure y'all don't forget, my camera cut off again, but make sure y'all don't forget to add cheat oil um, before y'all start curling your hair, before you put any type of heat on it. I have to refresh my lip gloss. You don't have to get your hair done. You gotta just get everything together. Baby hairs, everything. We cute. We ready to go. She ready. Don't forget to subscribe, y'all. Please subscribe, comment of what y'all want to see, like, follow me on Instagram, both of my pages. Thank you.